Hey YouTube, welcome back to the layout. This is the second video of the layout construction update. I've done quite a bit lately. No real new construction, more of some deconstruction. But we'll start off with some major improvements, I guess, to the lighting of the layout room. The layout room used to be lit by 2 ceiling lamps, been replaced by 6 fluorescent fixtures. A bit of a gap in the lighting still exists between this spot right here, but that'll be corrected with some other surface lighting. They're just, panels are too small for the 4-foot long lengths. Other than that though, the other side here needs some track lighting along the back edge there. And but the rest of it, I mean, compared to what it used to be, is lit up pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Just some lighting in the corner to take care of. Another major change to the layout is the deconstruction of the peninsula, which from my previous video would have been right smack in the middle here, but it's gone. And so is the track work that used to be along the wall here, which joined up to the peninsula, as you can see from the photos in the next little slideshow here. Peninsula used to come out all the way back here and has since been removed for 2 reasons. One, I felt it made the room too small, it being 12 by 20, and the peninsula really put a dent in the space that I had to navigate the room. The other thing was I was contemplating about putting a helix in that corner, but after a which of framing it up a little bit, testing it out, I decided I didn't like the helix there, and so I went with plan A on my helix and built it in the original location that it was planned for, which I'll show you next. Okay, so now looking at the helix, which is built in the furnace room, I suppose, storage room. It's nearing completion. I just have an upper little part of a loop to complete, and that loop there will continue across and enter the layout room for the second level. It is a 2-track helix. The inner loop is the descending track and the outer loop is the ascending track. I'll take a little closer look here at some of the details of the helix. I did build this helix using existing wood that was from another friend of mine's helix. It used to be a single track. The wood was wide enough for double track, and so I moved the supports to the outside using this threaded rod system. That allowed me to use the existing wood and save a lot of time and effort, although saving time might not have been the result. Is using this construction actually did take quite a while, as the supports that tie the plywood down into the metal here needed to be tapped out because it's using metal here to support the wood. I'll get a close-up of. So taking a look underneath the helix supports here, you'll see that there's a slotted channel in between the 2 threaded rods, and this is what the track bed is screwed down to, which is what took the time basically to just tap the holes for that and assemble it that way. This support provides a very sturdy structure. And it's quite adjustable by just simply adjusting the nuts on the upper and lower portion of the rod. And the construction went pretty good. And as you can see here, I have another plate underneath here, and this plate is where the 2 sections of roadbed join together. It's a simple 4x4 electrical cover plate with just pre-tapped and screwed into it. Very sturdy again, and it's because I used the existing plywood from another layout. I had to just compensate for that and put as many joints as I needed. So I extended the threaded rod through the base of the helix base here, and basically nutted on the bottom as well, as these hammer in sort of anchors, I guess I want to call them, but that's not what they're called. They tend to loosen up in the plywood, so I extended the rod through it and then bolted on the bottom, and that provides very sturdy support for that going through the base. Just another kind of look at the construction of the slotted channel here and the electrical plates that I used to splice the two sections together. All the track has been screwed down using number 4 screws and very small washers. This provides a quick and easy way to secure the track, as well as to allow for any adjustments in the track as far as radius goes. Keep the track away from one another. All the track has been soldered. Soldered it when it was in straight sections as they come around the curve, and then trim off the excess and then continue on soldering through. I don't have any power feeders on yet, as that's about to come, but it is kind of fed from the layout on the other side there, so I can run up and down the Helix if I want to test it out. I have just a little bit left to finish on the upper level here. As it kind of wraps around this direction, it's going to actually head off and shoot straight above that other section of track, maybe 16 inches up for that hole, right near the furnace there. That'll be the access to the second level. The track down below here, you'll see the one on the right hand side is actually veering off, and this provides access to the Helix at this level here, and then it sort of joins up, and that's the inner loop of the Helix going up. The other entry of the Helix, I'm just going to reach over here, hard to see, but it's coming from this direction. That comes from the layout room. The track at the far left is kind of like a switching lead. I know it's very dim. Track against the wall is the one that's elevating up to the Helix, and the other 3 tracks were kind of like staging tracks initially. But I will be doing other staging as well. But that'll still be some staging. And those 3 tracks continue underneath this part of the Helix here, and they will be just running around to the bottom end of the layout, sort of make a continuous run on the bottom side. I've had it connected, but that section here is completely removable here, all the way down. It comes straight out, lifts straight up. So when I worked on the Helix here, I had it removed because it's just kind of tight space to work in. So the plan for the upper level is to actually come in above this painted backdrop at that height, and one track split left, one track split right, and that'll be the upper level trackage. And sort of just following along the same height, same kind of width of the benchwork, and just over top of the door again. I've got the swing gate here over the door now. Probably be changing that as it's a little bit bulky. It does work good, it's aligned very well, but I used spray glue at the time as I was going to ballast this track, but it does line up very nicely, and I have a little pin underneath to keep it locked. And it kind of swings nice and easily. And the other side too here, where it's also glued, just simply cut the track as it was cutting across. Nice tight fit. And that track is going to extend this way again and be built over some new benchwork and join back up to the hole you see on the other side there. As for the yard section, it's pretty much going to stay the same on this level. I might reduce it just a little bit as I want to kind of go more industrial switching on the lower level, which means I might have to sacrifice what would be my planned diesel shop. I'm still thinking about that. But as far as the peninsula missing, I do really like the open space. I did like the peninsula. I may build out just the stub industries on just a section of track coming out down the middle. Something maybe removable that I can maybe take to a show and set up that way. A switching module maybe. We'll see. But anyways, I got lots of work to do to rebuild what I've taken down. I hope you enjoyed this update, and stay tuned for ones in the future. Thanks.